Okay, let's look at some money problems now. So the first thing you always need to think about with money problems is whether you're dealing with pounds or pence. So in 86 pence, how many pounds have we got, Mr. Blom? How many pounds?
Well, it's not 1 whole pound yet, so it'll be
zero. Zero. That's what I need to know. We haven't got any pounds.
Oh.
So when you write it, it's going to be £0, isn't it? 86 pence is less than a pound. It's £0. It's £0.86. You just copy the 8 and 6.
Because we have an amount of a pound. Just because we don't have the full pound, there's still an amount of it.
If we got 75p, how many pounds have we got? No pounds. It's £0.75. Did I say 75? Yeah, £0.75. If you have 368p, do we have any pounds, Mr. Blom?
We do, yes.
It's quite easy to tell how many pounds we have. How many is it?
Well, we have £3 because it's 300p.
300p
as long as you remember,
is £3.
Yeah, as long as you remember how many pence are in a pound, you'll be able to tell that.
Yeah, if you've got the hundreds column in pence is units, tens, hundreds. The hundreds column is how many pounds you've got, basically. A lot of the time in money problems, you're going to have to convert pounds into pence because they'll often give you them one. They'll give you one amount in pounds, one amount in pence. If we have this amount here, £7, a lot of the time you're going to need to know how to put that into pounds and pence, and it's always 2 decimal places. So £7 is £7, 7.00. 2 decimal places is what we use in money. 1, 2. That's 2 decimal places. So you need to know how to put £7 into 7.00. Sounds very easy, but it's very helpful because without that you're gonna get your lining up wrong. We've talked about lining up a lot when we did plus or minus. We're going to need some more of that today. So for example, if you have to add £8.25 and you have to add that to 76p, this is a very common kind of question because one amount is in the pounds, £8.25, one amount is in the pence, 76 pence. You're going to have to add them up, and a lot of people will line this up wrong, and if you line it up wrong you've got no chance of getting it right. So we don't want one in pounds and one in pence, we want them both in the same. So in this 76p, I'm going to change it into pounds. How many pounds have I got?
I've got no pounds.
No pounds. It's no pounds and 76p.
Does it matter either way? If I, let's say, convert 8.25 into pence?
No, you could do that. You could do that as well. That doesn't matter. So we've got 2 decimal places here because it's money. We've got 2 decimal places over here because it's money. We can add them now. If we line up our decimal point, if you watched our plus and minus videos for decimals, you know how important it is to line up this decimal point every time. £8.25 plus 76p, this is how you will line it up to add it. 8.25 plus 0.76. And then if you have any trouble with this adding, just look back at our addition and subtraction of decimals videos. £9 1 pence. Addition makes things bigger, doesn't it? So that's what you'll need to do in a lot of money problems, is you'll need to line up things correctly, and they're nearly always in the test they're going to trick you. They're going to put 1 in pounds, 1 in pence. Right, so next is something, I have a very technical term for this. It's called buying a bunch of stuff. So a lot of the time in the SATs or whatever test you're doing, they will ask you to, buy
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, buy a bunch of stuff. A few things have been bought. You've got to find out how much you spent. Let's say you bought a very cheap car, probably a toy car, for £4.56. Let's say you bought 79p you paid for a mouse. Nice cheap mouse. And let's say you
chocolate mouse
spent £8. Yeah, chocolate mouse. What should we spend £8 on, Mr. Blom? An Let's do an
What's an
That's what you just said.
An
Oh, yeah. Let's buy an for £8.
Really popular toys.
But it doesn't matter what we're buying. But what does matter is the lining up, okay? I've got my £4.56. If you buy things, it's going to be add. You're finding out the total of what you've bought, so we're going to add them up. But we've got to line it up properly. £4.56. I know I'm going to add up 3 items, and I'm going to need a decimal point in my answer. So we have a car for £4.56. A mouse is 79 pence. So we've got to know that 79 pence is no pounds and 79 pence. And we've got to know that an costs £8, which is £8, 8.00. Your lining up is absolutely key in this. That's where the tricks will be.
Yep.
Make sure you get your lining up right. £13.35 plus makes things bigger. We added those items and we got £13.35. Some people would just put 8 in this column here.
Yeah.
And then it would go completely wrong. So don't do that. £13.35. That was buying a bunch of stuff. Next is how much change problems. How much change do you get? Very common in money questions in maths. How much change? Now, how much change? It's basically a minus question. How much change means minus. There's a lot of things that are a trick minus, and how much change is one of them. So you go into a shop, maybe you've got a £20 note, and then you buy something that costs, let's say, £5.72. How much change do you get?
Are they going to take the £20 and they'll say, here's your toy for £5.72. See you later. Have a good day. Is that how it works?
They don't just give you it, do they?
Yeah, but they get the 20 because you don't have £5.72.
If you gave them the £20, they'd be quite happy, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but you don't have £5.72. So surely you just give them £20 and they say, well, we can't.
Then you just go.
You just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's actually what some children might do on a school trip, isn't it?
Yeah. That's definitely not what happens.
That's why you need to learn this. You need to learn how to get your change in real life, because you want to get your change. Now, this 20 doesn't have any decimal places on it, so I'm going to put 2 on so that I can line this question up right. And then it goes 5.72 like this. Decimal point lined up, always lined up on plus and minus. So what you actually want to do is give them the £20, and what they have to do, this is what shopkeepers have to do, they have to do £20, take away the £5.72 and find the answer.
They have to give you back the money that you haven't spent. So this is how it would be calculated in the tills. If you look at a till, this is what's actually happening, is it's calculating how much money you are owed back from giving that £20 and spending money on that whatever toy that you that is very popular these days.
Well, what did we buy this time? We didn't make it up, Mr. Blum. What did cost £5?
R. They bought an R.
R sound. It cost £5.72. A bit expensive, but
yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I saw one for £4 the other day.
So let's just check what happened. We had £20 note. We gave it to the shopkeeper, but they were going to give us an R toy. So they needed to take £5.72 of our money away, and then they needed to give us what we would have left, and we had £14.28 left. So we had £20, we spent some, now we've got £14.28. That's a how much change question.
Oh.
That was perfect that you said "oh" on the end. That was perfect, wasn't
No,
it? There's one more thing.
Bit of Hummer.
Next is a how much more question. Let's say Mr. Blom has £67.32. That's all the money he has in the world. £67.32. Let's say Mr. Saul has... He's quite poor, actually. He's only got £45.28. How much more has Blom got than Saul? By the way, this is how we spell my name if you care, because most people spell it wrong.
I straight away see a misconception that's about to happen. I straight away see that someone says, oh, more. So obviously, we need to add the two together.
Yes, because...
Think carefully about what the question is asking you.
It says how much more, and more is indeed... normally means plus, but this is a trick question, and this is in the SATs every single year. How much more or how many more? The same thing. How much more and how many more? It's a trick question. It's actually a minus. It's actually a minus.
It's actually asking you to find the difference between the two amounts.
The difference between 45.28 and 67.32. Just like when you find the difference in temperatures, which we've done before. How much more is actually a minus question. So don't be fooled by that. Minus, the biggest number at the top. Line up the decimal point.
Again, context is my favorite word of all time, which is understand what's going on. If you'd understood, if you had 5 grapes and your friend had 3 grapes, and you said how many more grapes would you have than your friend, you'd say, oh, of course, it's 2. So that answer is 5 minus 3. But because you can understand it more in context, you don't look at the word how much more and think it's add straight away. You actually understand that we're understanding how much more I would have than Mr. Saul, which is not going to be more than those two amounts. It's going to be a difference between.
So let's check what we've done. Mr. Blom had £67.32. Mr. Saul had £45.28. How much more does Mr. Blom have? Well, he does have some more. So we did Blom's amount, take away Saul's amount. We got £22.04. £22.04. Mr. Blom had £22.04 more. So how much more is a minus? And remember that how much more, how many more, how much faster, how much slower, how much warmer, how much colder, all these things are actually minus questions. So finally, we'll look at quite a complex question which involves buying a bunch of stuff and seeing how much change you'd get from £20. So as you can see here, we have a mini shop, a very, very small shop. Oops. Pencils cost £1.50, rubbers cost 75p and pens cost £2.80. How much would 2 pencils, 5 rubbers and a pen cost? This is part A. So that's a lot of stuff to buy. You're going to have to make a total. You're going to have to add up what you've spent. So one pencil is £1.50 and another pencil is £1.50 as well. So I'm going to add those up. But we're also buying lots more stuff. That's the pencils done. We're also buying 5 rubbers. So we could put down here 5 lots of 75. Or we could do a multiplication, couldn't we?
Yeah, I think we should multiply it.
We could do 75p times 5. Multiplying by 5 is quite easy. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 2 is 37. 375p that is, isn't it? It's not £375 because that would be ridiculous for 5 pencils. It's 375p. That's not a decimal point, by the way. So it's going to be £3. £3.75. Don't worry about that. £3.75. 75p times 5 is £3.75. So what I've done is just take a little shortcut. I've multiplied the rubber amount by 5 to get £3.75. So here I've done 75 times 5, which was 375 pence, £3.75. Took a bit of a shortcut. Must remember to buy a pen as well, because the question says to buy a pen, so that's just 1 pen. So what I've done here is added up 2 pencils. I've got 5 rubbers, I put them all onto one line, and I got a pen. So let's see how much we've spent to buy all that. Lining up the decimal point, make sure the decimal point's lined up all the way down. These are not ones, Mr. Saul. Don't count those as ones or anything. So we got 5 in that column. 5 and 5 is 10, 17, 25. Is that 25, Mr. Blom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 1, 1, 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. £9.55. If that had come out as something like £955, you'd probably be thinking that's a silly amount. That's not going to be right. But £9.55, yeah, £9.55 for 2 pencils, 5 rubbers, and a pen sounds quite reasonable.
Yeah.
So part A, we have our answer. How much would 2 pencils, 5 rubbers, and a pen cost? It's £9.55. Next, we have our how much change question. How much change would you get from £20? And how much change is a minus? So you give your £20 note to the shopkeeper. They work out what change you would have if you spent £9.55 on all those lovely items that we just did. It's a minus. Lots of borrowing when you do money minuses because of the 0.00 that you usually get when spending a note. So we get 5, 4, 0, 1. We get £1,045 change. Okay, Mr. Blom?
Yep, perfect.
£1,045 change.
Yep. Now, if you just write that as an answer, you're basically saying to us that you gave in £20 and you got given back £1,000. Now, unless it's probably the worst shop teller in the world, that definitely does not make sense.
No, that's gone wrong. It's not £1,045. We didn't line up our decimal point. Oh, could it be £10.45? That's much more likely, isn't
Something
it?
we see all the time as well. Something I've definitely seen a lot in the last couple of years.
You've got to think, does my answer make sense? Does it make sense? Every time you write an answer, think, does that make sense?
And that's where like estimates come from. Like, what, 20 minus 9.55. What are we thinking the answer's going to be around? Well, it's very clearly going to be around about the £10 mark.
So we're done. How much did it cost? £9.55. How much change did we get? £10.45.